Hello children, my name is Ranjana Srivastav. I am your science teacher from Ikra Primary English Medium School branch. Today we will be covering 5th chapter of our class 6 Science NCERT textbook, that is separation of substances. Children, let's get started. Every day you separate a number of substances from their mixture. We will look at the sum of the example. So every morning when your father or mother mix tea, they use the strainer. It is called a strainer, okay? It is called chalni in Hindi. They use this strainer before pouring the tea in the cup, right? You have seen this. You almost every day seen this. So why he is every day doing this? Why your mother or father doing this? Because they are separating the tea liquid from the tea leaves, right? They are separating a useful components because we drink tea from a non-useful component, that is tea leaves. Because we usually don't eat tea leaves, right? We throw them away. So this was the first example of separation where we have separated a useful component from a non-useful component, right? Separating tea from tea leaves, okay? You have understood this? Okay, we will now look at some more examples. The next reason for the separation is to separate non-useful substances from a mixture, and the example is strainer tea leaves from tea. We have already seen that tea leaves are non-useful for us, and that's why we separate tea leaves from tea, right? So we do separation to separate non-useful substances from useful substances. And the third reason why we do separation is to separate two useful components if we want to use them separately. We have seen this example also, that is separating lassi and butter by churning curd. So what we have done, we have separated two useful components, lassi and butter, by churning curd. Because we want to use them separately, we want to drink lassi also and we want to eat butter also, right? So you have understood the three broad reason why do we separation: to separate harmful substances from a mixture, to separate non-useful substances from a mixture, and we also separate two useful components if you want to use them separately, okay? Children, let's see the next page. Now here is given a list in your book, and it says that there are three intenses, okay? And you have to tell them why you are doing separation in these cases and what you do with the separated components, the components which you have separated, what you ultimately do with it. So let's take one example from here, okay? Separate stones from rice. Why you are doing it? To remove the impurities or harmful components, right? Stone are impurities or harmful components, okay? And what we do with these impurities, what you do with them, you usually throw them away, right? You always throw them away, okay? Now let's take this one churning curd to obtain butter. Why you are doing this? You are doing this because you want to separate two different but useful components, right? And what do you do with these separated components? We use both the components, we use both lassi and we use butter also, okay? Now separating tea leaves. So why you are doing this? To separate non-useful components. What is the non-useful components here? Tea leaves, right? And what you do with these tea leaves? You throw away these components, right? So now we will have seen the various teas, and why do we separation are also we have seen many examples where we do separation. Now we will study about different method of separation. Understood? Students, let's see methods of separation. There are various methods by which separation can be done, and you have to study all of them. So we will quickly look all of the methods. So different methods of separation which you have to study: and hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation, filtration and evaporation. You have to study all of them, okay? So the first method of separation have to study is hand picking. Now, what is this? These are rice grains which some impurities. Now you remove these impurities. What will you do? That's quite simple. You will just picking up the impurities with your hand, right? You have seen your mother doing this almost every day. So this is called as hand picking. Isn't it simple? Okay. What we have understood is when pulses and rice have impurities such as stones, dirt, insects or other grains, you usually move stones, dirt, insects and other grains with your hand. So what is hand picking? It is a separation method used to remove the unwanted or harmful substances from a mixture by using your hand. That was very simple, okay? Now answer this question for me. Can hand picking be used to separate all the substances from a mixture? Okay, before answering, let's take a look at this picture. What is this? This is a mixture of salt and sugar. Can you separate salt and sugar by just hand picking? The answer is obviously no. You will not able to separate salt and sugar by hand picking. Why? Because the two components that are mixed here are very small in size. Okay? Practically impossible to separate them by your hand, right? Okay. So now we know that when hand picking can be used. So hand picking can be used when size of impure substances is large. If the size of impurity is very small and salt and sugar mixture, you cannot separate it with your hands. And the second condition is when the quantity of impure substances is less than the quantity of impurity should be less. Because if I tell you that there is tons and tons of rice and you have to separate it by your hand, will you be able to do it? No. So that's why if the impurity is less, the quantity of impure substances less and the size of impure substances is large, that only you can use hand picking method of separation. So now we will know that if the impure substances is small or there is a large quantity of impurity, then hand picking cannot be used. Okay. Now let's move forward and we will now study about other methods of separation. That is threshing. Okay. I have told you about this, right? A wheat plant, after harvesting, the grains are separated from the stalks, right? So I have told you about it. I didn't tell you that how these grains are separated from these stalks, okay? So this is method of separation of separating grains from the stalks is called as threshing. Understood? So these grains are separated from stalks, okay? So after harvesting, wheat plants, they are usually dry in the sun for few days for drying of the stalks, and after there are two methods of separation which are followed. On a smaller scale, these grains are separated from stalks by manually beating the stalks. You can see this farmer. He is beating the stalks on a hard surface. This is a stone slab, right? He is beating it. And there you can see that grains are getting separated from the stalks, right? The grains are falling down. So on a smaller scale, this can be done. But when you have a very large field and you know there are tons and tons of grains which you have the separate from doing it manually, won't be possible. So for this, thresher are used. These are machines and they separate grains from the stalks. So this is the process of separating grains from the stalks is known as threshing, right? You have understood it? Now, okay, let's move forward. So the third method of separation which we have to study is winnowing, okay? So let's understand what is winnowing. Now let's take a closer look at this one. This is a wheat plant, okay? The spike of wheat plant. So in threshing, we have separated these grains from the stalk, right? But can you see that these grains are covered with the brown covering? This brown covering is called as husk. And we do not eat this husk. We actually eat the grain which is inside this husk, okay? So by the process of winnowing, we separate grains from the husk. The grains we eat and the husk is used as fodder. This is the brown covering. So now you now know what is winnowing. Winnowing is a method of separation which is used to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by wind or by blowing air. Understood? It is used by farmer to separate husk from grain. I will make you understand this. Okay? So we will understand winnowing with the help of the diagram. Okay? So here you can see a woman who is standing on a raised platform, right? Now you suppose that the wind is blowing in this direction. So what is woman doing? She is standing on the raised platform and she is holding this container in a tighter position, right? And she is allowing the grains to fall down. Now what will happen? Wind is blowing in this direction, right? So what will happen? The lighter particle, that is the husk in this case. The husk outside the grain is quick, right? Okay. It's light in weight. So the lighter particles will be carried away by the wind and the heavier particle, that is grain, will settle down and form a heap. Can you see that the lighter particles, that is the husk, will move in this direction? It will be carried away by the wind and it will form a heap at some distance, okay? Whereas the heavier particle, that is the grain, being heavier, it will settle down here only and it will form a heap like this, okay? So this is now how by the process of winnowing, by the action of wind and husk, the grains are separated. There is a lighter and the heavier components is separated. So now you will understood the definition that winnowing is a method of separation that use to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by wind or by blowing air, and it is usually farmer to separate husk from the grains. Okay, so you have understood winnowing. You will now move forward. Okay, before moving forward, let's make this clear once again so that you don't get confused between threshing and winnowing. Alright. So, what was threshing? In threshing, we separate grains from the stalk, right? We separate these grains from the stalk by beating it manually on a hard surface or with the help of threshers. And in winnowing, we actually separated husk from these grains, okay? You see this brown covering, so we separated this husk from the grains by the action of wind. So now you have to understand the clear differences between threshing and winnowing. So students, Now I am going to end this session. We will continue the chapter tomorrow. Okay? Thank you very much.